Hello and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV, and we are in Heavensward content! Yay! This is the first dungeon available to you in the Heavensward expansion. The Dusk Vigil. It is a level 51 dungeon that sinks to level 52. That's right. Starting from here on out, the leveling dungeons only have a 2-level range. Thus, the only new abilities that I get are the one ability that I get at level 52, which is Pain Flare. We will go into that presently. Pain Flare, as you can see, I've completely readjusted my bars to make way for all the new abilities that I've gotten since I was able to unlock them immediately upon starting Heavensward. Pain Flare is the first ability that I gain access to here. It's unlocked at level 52. And it's an ability that uses an Ether Flow stack. And what it does is it immediately delivers a powerful AoE attack to all enemies in range of your target. It's a very, very useful AoE attack. And you'll find yourself using it a lot in the dungeons. It's really one of your great bread and butter moves. From here to the ending. From here up to level 70, and I'm going to go on ahead and save beyond. We don't know what's in store for us after 70. It's going to be yet about another year before the next expansion, but when you are fighting a group of enemies, Pain Flare is not as potent as Fester, but its AoE effect makes it just a very, very good ability to be using in any sort of AoE situation. As a result, you're going to find yourself burning through your Ether Flow stacks a lot quicker than you were prior to this point of the game. Because typically, you're going to immediately burn one Ether Flow stack on your Bane, because you're still going to want to Bane everything. But then you're immediately going to burn another one, if you have it, on Pain Flare. And then either put some more damage onto your target with Fester, or just wait for Pain Flare to refresh and use it again. So, as for the dungeon itself, a lot of the enemies in this first pull are blocked off by snowdrifts, or the fact that some of them won't appear until other enemies are dead. So this first section generally runs pretty slow. Once you've killed all the enemies in this last section of this right here, you will get one of the enemies, the last one you kill specifically, will drop an iron bar that you're going to use to activate that damage winch on the gate in the background there. Up the lever. Okay, it's a steel lever, not an iron bar. And now it's time for the first boss. The Towering Oliphant. Alright, so this guy's got some mechanics that you just aren't going to be able to avoid. you're going to be depending on your healer a lot in this fight. Alright, if you get targeted by that crosshair, he's pretty much going to have his way with you. He's going to use an attack called down for the count. Then he's going to do a bunch of stuff like that. So really, on this, you just take care of the enemies best you can. Apparently, other enemies can soak damage with you on this. I was not aware that was a thing. I'm actually not entirely convinced it is a thing. Oh, I guess it is. I'm getting not hit by things. But as you can see, if you get caught up in that, there's really not much you can do other than just wait it out. So attack the boss when you can. Hope your healer is able to get you up when you can. So really, this boss is far more annoying than it is challenging. Alright, so this next section, bigger pulls are possible, but we'll see what our tank actually does. Alright, so this next hall has basically a lot of zombie-type enemies that'll pop up. A lot of tanks will try to run everything down to the end. Yeah, this looks like that's what we're gonna do. And just pull everything. This is gonna end up being a pretty big pull, so watch out, it's gonna be fun. Alright, so feign the whole lot of them, drop a Shadow Flare, and then let Pain Flare do its thing. Now, Pain Flare, I believe, does have damage fall off, so you're not going to do maximum damage to everything that gets hit by Pain Flare, but it still ends up being a pretty good deal to hit a bunch of enemies at once with it. Enemies here. And usually, most tanks I've seen will just take these two out, because the next room is going to be another room with all the zombies. Now, you can learn a lot about the lore of this place by reading the Torn Journal pages in this section. It's actually a pretty morbid little story. And I won't go into it here and now, but just suffice it to say, it's a pretty morbid little story. Let's just say there's a reason this place is abandoned to save a whole bunch of zombies. We're Pain Flaring now. A lot of these enemies just don't have enough health for me to get through a full dot combo and Dane everything. Alright, grab the key from the last enemy to fall, then open the door to the second boss. Now, the second boss has a lot of mechanics. I don't know how many we're actually going to see or observe. Basically, we're going to be on the lookout for AoEs and be dodging them. Then he's going to raise these fallen soldiers, and the fallen soldiers are going to buff him. So it's probably a good idea to kill them. Alright, Brain Drain is the attack that raises his allies. And obviously stay out of that purple. Now, every one of these enemies is going to provide buffs to the boss, and pretty much wreck everything else inside. So the quicker you can take them out, the better. But every time he uses Brain Drain, that's what's going to bring out more of the ads. At this point, though, he's almost dead. So I'm going to push him to the end here. Yay! Easy enough. Yeah, taking out the ads is great at the beginning of the fight. Later in the fight anymore, we just push to the end. Alright. So, you'll notice you get a lot more drops from these dungeons now. So there's a chance to really gear you up. Unfortunately, this dungeon isn't going to get you any better gear than you would have just for buying the top level gear with tomestones. So really, you're probably not going to start getting an improvement to your gear until you get to about level 55. Alright, the key in this last section is these Hailstorm Sprites. The Hailstorm Sprites are what are locking out the next section of the dungeon. So they're what you need to kill first. Fortunately, we have all sorts of wonderful abilities at our disposal to do that now. Look at how much damage I'm doing with Pain Flare. Anyway, once the Hailstorm Sprites are down, the next section opens up. Now, this particular section is a little different. As the fight continues, there are going to be ads that come out of that back wall there. And they're just going to keep coming until the Hailstorm Sprites are down. So really don't worry about the Zoblin larvae until the Hailstorm Sprites go down. Then go to town on them, because you won't be seeing any more of them once the Hailstorm Sprites are down. Now, you'll have noticed, if you've been paying attention, there's this griffin that's been in the back that you always see but he never attacks you. He always seems to run off to some other place in the dungeon. Now, at this point, we are actually almost done with the dungeon. That was actually the last trash hole. Beyond this door is the chapel, wherein we will fight the end boss. Now I'm going to step into the arena. That way, even if they do start the battle early, I'm in the arena. So that griffin that's been flying around and we've just seen but never fought, there he is! Alright, now there are some very important mechanics to obey in this arena, and they have everything to do with those piles of rocks you see scattered around the arena. He's going to have 2 attacks that we're going to have to worry about. Now, staying away from the rocks when you're not dealing with those mechanics will help you to not have him hit those rocks and destroy them before you need to use them to block certain attacks. Like this one, Whirling Jail. When you see Whirling Jail, have a rock between you and the middle of the room. This will prevent you from being sucked into the middle of the room like our samurai friend. You'll get stuck in the middle, and then you'll get hit by a rather nasty attack there, so don't. When you see those little circle AoEs, that's actually going to drop fresh rocks, so keep those in mind. The other attack that you need to worry about is this one, Winds of Winter. That couldn't have been timed better. With Winds of Winter, you need to have the rock between you and the boss. And that's really the 2 things you're going to have to worry about as a caster. So if you see Whirling Jail, rock between you and the middle. If you see Winds of Winter, rock between you and the boss. Now if you do get hit by Whirling Jail, you'll notice that our allies trying to run away from the middle. It's certainly possible to break free of the suction of the Whirling Jail and get out of the way, get behind a rock. But the better thing to do, if you can pull it off, is to just be behind the rock to start with. Okay. Oh, Winds of Winter. Did I get it? I got it. Alright, good news is more rocks are going to fall. Oh, Whirling Jail. And there you have it. So that's Dusk Vigil, our first Heavensward dungeon, and our first new ability post-50, and it's a darn good one. All of the abilities post-50 are amazing, but Pain Flare is one of my favorites. Alright, so next up is going to be our first Heavensward trial, Ravana. Awfully fun fight, and then after that, a level 53 dungeon. And so, we are going to get onto those when I get to that point in the story. Now, I will note that this level 51 dungeon is not actually a story dungeon, but it is by no means optional, because in Heavensward you gain the ability to fly, But in order to fly, you must unlock all of the ether currents in a given region. And some of those ether currents are unlocked by finding them on the field and attuning to them. Others are found by completing quests. There's always one that's part of the main quest, and then 4 side quests per region that you gain flight in. One of the side quests that you use to unlock flight in the Kurthus Western Highlands is the quest that requires you to beat the Dusk Vigil. This I have done, and so now I'm going to go back and get my last ether current in this region, which will then allow me to fly. So that's why you want to complete Dusk Vigil, because not only is it a good way of gaining experience if you are still at level 51 or 52, I am currently at level 58, because I leveled so much before even starting Heavensward, but you gain the ability to fly, and flight makes traveling through these areas so much quicker. So, I'm going to get flying, and I'm going to keep moving with the story, and we will get to those dungeons as I get them unlocked. And until then, have a wonderful day.